Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Surprise Chef Origin Story.
How are we doing today?
We're doing wonderful. It's a crisp morning in Melbourne. It's the dead of winter, which is a bit of a shock after coming back from Europe and the States. But it's nice. I'm here at our office in Brunswick, where we run our label, College of Knowledge, and the day is just beginning.
There you go. So tell us about the origins of Surprise Chef.
Well, Jethro Curtin, who plays keys in the band, uh, we met at uni at music school, over a decade ago now. And, we kind of became fast friends and have kind of spent most of the ensuing waking hours together, like over the last 10 years. And we've made lots of music before in the past. We played in lots of bands. Many of them I do not care to discuss because the level of musical quality was not particularly high. But we've all got a story. We've all got funk sins in our past. But we had been living together and making music and stuff like that for a while. And in about 2017, we'd been writing a lot of different music together for an unspecified project. We kind of spent like a year or two in the studio that we had in Brunswick just writing music for a project that kind of didn't really exist yet. And we were recording demos on a computer and using Ableton and all that stuff, and it was a great learning experience. But I think we kind of got through it and went, this isn't really the kind of music that we feel completely compelled by, and this is not the process that we feel completely compelled by. And I think we really wanted to shake that up and try something different for a minute. So I wrote a couple of tunes, with the intention of just focusing on instrumental funk music, because I think personally at my core, that's the mainstay in my musical lifestyle. Like that's the thing that's always really, really turned me on most. And so we just recorded this 45 with some other buddies that we met at music school, Carl and Andrew, on bass and drums respectively. And our friend Henry is a known quantity in the local funk music community, and he's a man who's known to, he was known to own a tape machine, and he'd made funk records before, and he'd played on lots of great funk records. So we kind of jumped in his studio that he'd just built, and we recorded this 45, and we called it Surprise Chef, and we started this little label called College of Knowledge that we wanted to use to release that particular record, and ostensibly any ensuing music that we just decided to make after that point. And that's the origin. We put out that 45. We loved making records with tape. We loved making records with the boys, with Andrew and Carl and Henry, and we just kept doing it. And here we are.
What are the challenges that you find being instrumental? Do you see that it's tougher to get people to come out without having the singer and the words attached to it?
No, I don't. I don't really see any particular hurdles connected to being an instrumental band. I mean, certainly, that question, I guess, begs the question, what do you consider a hurdle? Like, what are the goals? Our goals were our goals were always just to make music that we're really proud of and keep getting better at doing it. And as far as those goals are concerned, we got no hurdles. I like to think that what really drew us to making instrumental music is that we are instrumentalists. None of us us singers. None of us have any real distinct connection to singing or lyrics or anything like that. Like, because I'm a guitar player and Jethro's a keyboard player and Andrew's a drummer and Carl's a bass player and Hudson now is a drummer and a percussionist. When we're listening to records, we're thinking about the instrumentals. There's vocals going on, no doubt, but when I'm listening to Isaac Hayes, I'm thinking about the drum pockets and I'm thinking about the instrumental arrangement and all that kind of stuff. So we're really keeping it in a world that we're really comfortable with. We're really kind of trying to speak our own language. I think if we were trying to write vocal music, I imagine we'd run into many more hurdles than we currently do as an instrumental band, because we're not singers and that's not our instrument.
So on the other side, what about the advantages of being an all instrumental band?
Well, we don't have to deal with a singer, firstly. Yeah, I mean, I'm merely speculating, but there often can be, I would imagine, a certain inherent hierarchy placed on a general band dynamic when there is a singer. We don't have some person standing at the front who's this focal point. And because of that, we're sort of all on a very level playing field within the band musically. We like to think that, we're a really strong team, both interpersonally and musically. And we don't have to deal with any of that, any hierarchy when it comes to ego. Everybody's equally responsible for loading into the venue. Everyone's equally responsible for packing out and all that kind of stuff. And
there's a singer at the bar having a drink while everyone's working.
Someone pointed something out once recently. A good buddy in Melbourne who plays in a band called Hiatus Coyote, he was saying that they do a lot of touring, but they're very much limited by within the amount of back-to-back shows they can do, because their singer can only sing so many nights in a row without giving their voice a rest. And for better or worse, we don't have that consideration, so we can play as much as we can possibly handle. And Simon was kind of saying, like, man, sometimes I wish we could just play every night, but we have to only do 2, 3, 4 shows in a row before having a rest. I personally think rest days are really crucial regardless, but that's a real advantage, is that we're on a level playing field and we can play as much as we want.
And it also gives you some flexibility, I would imagine, if at any point there was an opportunity, a song that you felt really compelled, that lends itself to something like that, you could bring someone in or, figure that out, but then not be kind of beholden to exactly what you're talking about. So it probably affords you a lot of different options, I would think, in the future too.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually really like the idea of collaborating with singers, and I imagine there will be some of that in our future at some point. We just haven't really found the most compelling fit yet. If we found some singer that we really got along with and we really respected what they do and really felt that we could do something valuable, something, a musical project that might justify its own existence, then we'd absolutely go for it. I'd like to think that we've had plenty of practice arranging as a band, and applying that to a project where there's a singer involved would be a nice creative exercise.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.